Hello, this is Jennifer McCarrick. Welcome to my presentation of the EDM plan for Castor. If you remember, Cast Store is a successful online store that sells figurines of different types. It's been around for about more than 20 years. The owner would like to increase profits and grow the business year over year, but also be able to anticipate sales. And ultimately, she does want to retire and pass the business on to her adult children. Um, and migrating to an enterprise data management solution will do just that, showing historical successes, the weaknesses, being able to predict those sales, but also help the company make more confident business decisions. And that would be, physical expansions for, holding their inventory, um, hiring new employees at some point, whatever they can do to anticipate that long-term growth. The EDM plan itself, we wanted to address a specific question that would also include both sides of the business, making these products physically as well as selling them. So knowing which figurine categories are the most profitable and when seem to be a nice umbrella to put across this whole concept. And the business data points, they do exist in multiple data sources, and they include things like the, customer purchases, of course, but also the life cycle of the supplies, as I had mentioned, that are needed to create the products, the molds themselves, they, break down after a while, being able to physically store those supplies, and then, of course, the inventory that they create. And then also answering questions like the cost benefits of, marketing, and then the cost benefits of the physical expansion, buildings, or, hiring new people. So we will begin, of course, with the data extraction, though, getting the data from all of those various resources and getting it into a staging area, cleaning it up, making sure there's no holes, making sure we have everything, we really want and need, transforming that into a structure that is consumable by the targeted system, and then getting that loaded in. So you'll see on the left examples of the data tables as they, pretty much exist, and then what they would, eventually evolve into in terms of the dimensions in the new system. The warehouse architecture schema, since there aren't any subdimensions that are being used across the others, the star schema will work for Castor here. And as you can see, the different dimensions that would load into, in this example, the a sales fact table. And from that would be a great starting point for analysis. The staffing plan will include obviously permanent employees, which shouldn't be, much different than what they're experiencing now, the owner, for some time in the future, I would imagine, along with two or maybe three other employees, and they would, continue to do what's needed for the day-to-day production of their um, inventory, and then managing the sales, but also managing the data. That will be something that will need to be consistent and folded into a daily business process for every employee. Um, there would be a temporary employee that needs to be added to oversee this, EDM um, evolution, and that would be a technical person with implementation and deployment skills. Not only high level, but someone that can really, transform what they have into the final location for what they need. And that I would say probably one business quarter they should be around at least. And they would obviously be setting up the data for the ETL into in this case, the Google Cloud Storage and Data Fusion systems. Um, so that would be one additional person. So to break down the cost, the approximate costs that are listed here are based on the data needs, which was, about 5 GB of storage, especially for the data points that we're anticipating needing, and 10 gigabytes of transfer per month. I mean, that's pretty good for Castor at this point. And Google Cloud Storage and Data Fusion also are they both have small tiers, and that's their approximate cost each month. And of course, with Google, it does go up or down depending on what you're using, so that's really nice as well. So maybe in the beginning, might be used a little bit more, or maybe just certain times of the year. And just to kind of put out there, the technical employee, just thinking that first month would be the heaviest, maybe the first 4 weeks, 6 weeks, but probably month one, about 40 hours at an hourly rate. And then months two, three, and four, probably only about 15 hours each of those months, give or take an hour or two, especially as things, get implemented and it's maintained well. So, and the benefits, obviously, it they will Castor will end up with a system, a process, a strategy that's scalable, it will be reliable, and it will be repeatable. So, when the business owner does decide to retire, this is something that should be, pretty simple to carry forward. And it will address the key needs and the questions for the company, like uh, consistent data management and governance. Because remember, 20 plus years, the owners kind of had a lot of this stuff written down different places, log books, in her mind, all those things. So that's probably one of the biggest pluses for this company, especially as she's moving into this idea of retirement. And then, yes, increasing profits, anticipating those sales, and then answering questions, really important questions, like at what point do we need new employees, and most likely we'll need more additional space, physical space to hold all this inventory. So it's um it's going to be a really great outcome for this company, and I appreciate you listening to my presentation. And have a great day. Thanks.